Take it away, Ray. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Please bear with my voice this morning. It was going to be a bit of a struggle, and I almost called in myself, but believing that I could do it, therefore, here I am. Table topics is the fun portion of the meeting, giving you the opportunity to allow the creative juices to just flow, just have fun with it, not to overthink, but rather just let the creative juices flow through and for 1 to 2 minutes, expound on the questions that I may present to you. If we have ever felt lucky to be alive in the most exciting times in human history, post a thank you to the entrepreneurs of the world. There's no doubt that much of what we enjoy are an outcome of entrepreneurs risking it all. So let's thank them now. And let's thank our Toastmaster of the day as well for reminding us to believe for it. With that, I present these particular questions. An entrepreneur that you really admire. Please expound upon an entrepreneur that you really admire. And that question goes to Latasha.
I believe that an entrepreneur that I really admire would be my mom, because she has 4 kids that she had to raise. And on top of that, she raised foster kids and had her own hair business doing hair, as well as having her own daycare. So doing all that together is very inspiring, because that'll let you know that you can have so many hats under your belt and still be able to do them all at once. And it's very interesting to know that even though like you have a lot of things going on at once, you can still maintain your sanity. So just knowing that you can do so many things and help so many people and inspire so many people without even realizing that you're doing it, just by doing things that you simply love, is very amazing. So that is one person that inspires me as an entrepreneur. Back to you.
Thank you, Latasha. As I reflect back, I can easily see how my mom too would have been a wonderful entrepreneur. Thank you, Latasha, for that wonderful response. The next question. An entrepreneur is someone who, and then I ask you to please complete the sentence. An entrepreneur is someone who, Randy Powell, an entrepreneur is someone who, and then if you would complete the sentence.
Well, we already know that an entrepreneur is someone who works hard, is highly adaptable and persistent. But an entrepreneur is a lot more than just that. An entrepreneur is someone who's chosen of becoming and doing and having and getting and selling and sharing and all of these things that it takes to become an entrepreneur, and to do it in a way that's not only consistent, but that serves the purpose, whatever that purpose is. And an entrepreneur is someone who cares, truly cares, and is passionate about what they're doing. And they truly believe that they're adding value to people's lives in some form or fashion. And an entrepreneur is an individual who has decided for themselves to never, ever, ever give up, to never quit. That's who they are. That's who they become. And there's a lot of debate about whether you can train to become one or whether or not you're born that way. And you have to decide for yourself. And that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you, Randy. Belief can often get us through the struggles that oftentimes want to hold us back to reaching that goal of or to be an entrepreneur. We all have our struggles, but believing can often help us reach and sustain those particular goals. The next question, please. Do you think entrepreneurs are born or made? Do you think entrepreneurs are born or made? And that goes to Bond Wang. Bond.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. Great question. Just out of top of my head, I think entrepreneur is born. Because as the previous speakers just mentioned, the entrepreneur is a lot of sense. But it boils down to having fortitude, fight with the struggles, and make great decisions. I think there is something that are very personal and involved with the personality. I'm kind of a person that believe in skills is not something really making the critical decisions. When you are faced with some critical moments, the decision you made involves with your personality. Entrepreneurship is such a great trait and a great skills that in many cases, from what I have seen through my career, really not through the skills that you gain through training. I think lots of things come from your personality and how you grow up. So I'm kind of very quick decision. I think the entrepreneurship come from how you born and you came up with. That is how we have all different works of career across people, among people, and we have all different kind of entrepreneurship and different culture of the companies, the cooperation, because there are some personality, and personalities are born, not made. Thank you.
Thank you, Bond. Thank you. Wonderful response. And sometimes how we're born or the things that we go through in life are actually what activates our desire to do something about maybe some of the struggles that we individually may have gone through or others as well. So I never thought of it that way, but sometimes you're born because of the obstacles that we went through, we are determined to do something about it, not only for ourselves, but for the sake of others. Thank you, Bond. The next question. Entrepreneurship is a full-time job. Please elaborate. Deborah Gillis. Entrepreneurship is a full-time job. Elaborate, please.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. I am not an entrepreneur at this point, but I do believe it can be if you choose it to be a full-time job. Meaning that you're putting all of your efforts in that. Full-time meaning 24/7, 365 in my mind's eye. Meaning that you're thinking of it 24/7. You're wondering about it, you're establishing all of your goals. But I do believe that it should not be a full-time job, because you must put your personal family environment into making a success for your entrepreneurship. You must gather everything around you. So being that said, there are other areas of entrepreneurship that may involve making your success work, not full-time. Full-time in anything, meaning that you're putting every single moment of your lifespan into your business. That is good, but to me, I believe that it should not be a full-time job, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Deborah. Agree. I've often heard that entrepreneurs can burn out pretty early because they are on the clock 24/7, as you said. With that in mind, I can understand how they might burn out, totally exhaust themselves out, and they do have to take care of the home front as well. And it's hard to do when you're thinking 24/7 entrepreneurship. Thank you, Deborah, for the wonderful response. What prepares us most for entrepreneurship? Is it a job or a business school? Mona Lisa, what prepares us better for entrepreneurship? Is it a job or is it business school? Mona Lisa.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Having technical problems using my phone. I think it depends on the individual. The question was asked earlier, are entrepreneurs born or made? Some went to business school thinking one thing, and when they got there, they found out that they had more of an entrepreneurial spirit about themselves. They didn't see things the way it's taught in school, and they left school and started businesses in their garages. That's an entrepreneur. So I think it's both, because you need to have the skills to be a good business person, but you need to have the spirit of an entrepreneur. The question again was asked earlier about entrepreneur. And when I think about people, it's not that they're 24/7 being an entrepreneur in terms of their business, but they're 24/7 with that mindset. They'll see something and they'll immediately think how they can do it better, or a business that can come out of that situation, or able to solve someone's predicament through a business venture. So it's a combination of both. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Mona Lisa. And keeping with the spirit that you mentioned, this is the holidays. It is time to try to incorporate spirit within us and share that spirit out there. So while we have fun with table topics, let's keep in mind that let's also have fun in this holiday time. So the next question, if Santa really came with a clause, what do you think that clause would be? Suzanne Leonard. If Santa came with a clause, what do you think that clause would be? Suzanne.
I think Santa would say, no matter what, no matter where, no matter the circumstance, don't forget the joy in the season. Whether you're celebrating Kwanzaa or winter solstice, which starts today, and my friend in Chicago really starts today. They got a blizzard happening. I think it's the joy. Don't forget the joy. Whatever it is, do it with joy, or you're not in the season, whether it's Valentine's, but Christmas especially, because it opens us up as entrepreneurs to new opportunities to express who we are and to spread our gifts, not in a monetary way, but just to, as entrepreneurs, I'm getting ready to travel north to Sacramento, my raised up town, and I have an opportunity to help, to inspire, to coach someone who I think could be a Toastmaster, but that's not the main intention. But as entrepreneurs, we're always thinking about the next thing, but to just help them through a transition time in their lives. You know, families come together, we celebrate, and sometimes we bring the troubles. And so if we can remember to bring joy to the troubles, it sounds like an oxymoron, but say, okay, let's unpack this. Let's take a look at this as a family. What's really happening? How can I be of assistance? You know, I'm choosing to use that word more often than help, because help is like drowning. But assistance is, okay, here's the buoy. Let's pull you up and see what's going on. So Santa would say, no matter what, ho, ho, ho. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Suzanne. As we believe, many creatives operate through, the ideas come through meditation or just believing in a project. many wonderful projects come forth through the power of belief and visualization. So with that in mind, I think a lot of great films, a lot of directors who had ideas come to mind and ended up producing wonderful, wonderful films. So which creative film do you think captures the essence of Christmas the best possible way, and why? Susan Vanderberg, which creative film do you think captures the essence of Christmas the best possible way, and why? Suzanne.
Susan Vanderberg. I've watched a lot of movies, and one just sticks with me is the Home Alone, the very first one, where the kid got left at home, and I guess the family was so busy they forgot about the very last kid until they got to their destination, and then we left one at home. So I often, because I have 5 kids, it relates very well to me. Everywhere we go, we would count how many people we have in the car. Like, is everyone in the car? Yes. And then somebody say no. I'm like, I will turn around like, okay, I think you're joking with me. We have everybody. So we're ready to go. So Christmas time to me is more about spending time with family, making sure that we give more than we receive. And oftentimes when we're so busy, we forget some of the smaller things. And sometimes kids, that even though they're the smaller things in life, they are actually the bigger things in life. And often it's because of them. That is why we work. So then Christmas exists. I mean, in their eyes, Christmas is a miracle, right? And in our eyes, Christmas is like, we need you to buy this and that for the kids so they can have happy faces on Christmas Day and still believe in the miracle of Santa. So the spirit of Christmas is, to me, that movie, Home Alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Let me pause really quick, and because I do want to give time toward the end, if you have one more question for us for this topic, this time frame, I definitely would enjoy having you present one more question, and then we'll transition from there.
Thank you. You're reading my mind. Last question. If Christ must give us something this holiday, what should it be? If Christ must give us something this holiday, what should it be? April Gillis.
Thank you so much for that question. What I heard was, if Christ must give us something this holiday season, and for me, that's the gift of life. During this time, there's a lot of busyness, there's lights, there's food, there's gifts, there's all of these things going on. But for me, it's a celebration, it's a birthday. I like to say, happy birthday, Jesus. I told my nephew, he loves birthday cakes. Birthdays only exist to have a cake. And so I thought, well, for me, I celebrate Christmas as the birth of Christ. I must have a cake to celebrate the person whose birthday we're celebrating for me. How would I feel if everyone else came to my birthday and everyone got a present but me? So for me, Christ must is the gift of life, the celebration of a birthday. And that for me is what is the must of Christmas. Thank you.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry, Merry Christmas. Wonderful responses, everyone, one and all. And with that, we return the lectern back to Toastmaster of the Day, Daya.
Wow, I am so inspired by all of the responses to these amazing questions.